Would all those who are still in the back come and find a seat? We welcome you, and we're making every effort to start on time these days. And so thank you for arriving here. Thank you. And as Donna is back with us now and would remind us, would everyone please turn off their cell phones? Thank you. I said last week that we were going to have the announcements at the end in the social hour. However, there are a couple of important announcements to have at the very beginning today because of what's happening at the end. So Francie's going to come up and talk to us about the ice cream social. Today is the day when we've decided to have this summertime fun thing that churches of old used to have, right? Ice cream socials. How many of you went to an ice cream social when you were younger? Or some kind of equivalent to that, I don't know. And nowadays, the ice cream has to be very, honed in to all of our different needs. So we are having all kinds of wonderful variations from xylitol, coconut milk, to cow's milk, everything in between. So should suit everybody. And Francie's going to come up and give us a further announcement and guidance about the ice cream social.
Guidance. When there's ice cream and toppings, pretty much everybody knows what to do, right? Open mouth and insert steam. Yeah. Well, I'm so glad you're all here to enjoy our service today and to enjoy our social afterwards. As most of you know, it's benefiting the children's program, so we are asking $1 a scoop. However, we gladly accept anything that you would like to donate and give to us. And there's a couple, the setup back there, just to make it easier so that when you get back there, you'll know. The first table over here on this side is basically the money table. And we have some of our children who want to help give change if it's needed. So there's a donation basket in which you can make your own change in case there's a backup with having the children help you. And there's a love offering on each of the tables. So feel free to give your money wherever you would like to give it. And if you come to the children, keep in mind that they're beginning, learning minds. How to give change can be challenging for even those of us who are adults when we get panicked. So, get in that line if you've got a lot of patience today and can give some kind words to our kids, because we want them to feel empowered and positive and happy about this experience. So, let's see. Just a note about the things so that you know when the next table, the middle table, is the ice cream table. And then the table over on that side is the toppings table. So just a little bit about ice cream. We do have, of course, the most of it is dairy ice cream. And then we have, for those people who are allergic or highly sensitive, we do have Coconut Bliss dark chocolate, Coconut Bliss salted caramel and chocolate, So Delicious butter pecan, and So Delicious mint chip. Now, we don't have nearly as much of that as we do of the vanilla bean ice cream, and the children made for you homemade vanilla and the children's homemade chocolate chip. So we ask that unless you're highly allergic or sensitive that you go for the dairy, just because I don't know if you shop these, but they're very expensive. So we'll run out if we need more, but we would really appreciate you doing dairy if you can. Okay, and then there's just a ton of different toppings. We've got a homemade Marionberry with agave, for those of you who can't do sugar. We've got a homemade Dagoba chocolate, and we've got caramel, we've got fresh fruits, nuts and cherries, assorted candies, mini marshmallows, brownie chunks, and whipped cream, and I think there might be a couple I didn't even have room for. So it's for everybody to enjoy.
Yes, definitely give her a big round of applause.
Also, in the children's yard, there are bags with three-legged races, big bubbles, football, baseball, what else is that? Oh, squirt guns. Squirt guns. So there's a lot of activities. We encourage you to take your ice cream, go outside, watch the little kids and the big kids play, and enjoy yourselves. Okay?
Thank you.
Great. Thank you.
Great. And you may have noticed when you came in, there were lots of books out. The Havra had a book sale to benefit the Daedalus Project, and there's more going on to benefit the Daedalus Project, August 12th through 18th. Talk to Natalie in the back later about this. And the books today are out there for us. They left them out, a portion of them, so that we could also participate in this benefit to the Daedalus Project by purchasing some of the books, and there's signs out there how to do it. Two more quick announcements that I must give early so that you really will remember that on September 4th, which is a Thursday, I believe, we're having a wonderful gathering about the John of God trip. There'll be a film that's shown called Healing. It's one of the only films made on John of God. How many of you have been to John of God? Some of you have. Well, I'm co-leading a tour there this December 27th through January 11th, and I encourage you to think about coming on it. September 4th, you can come and watch that film and hear more about it. On tonight at 6 p.m., we are celebrating the life of and a memorial service for Elma Andre, who was at our greeting table every Sunday for the last many years, and we sorely miss her. And so I really invite all of you, as many as can, to come to this wonderful memorial service at 6 p.m. here tonight. Okay. Now we'd like to bless the children in the beginning of our service, and so if the kids could come up. Come on up, kids. This is a big day for you guys, for all of you. Here you all are. We call this Francie's voice.
Okay, let's see. You got it really well. Ice cream.
Hey, this block keeps moving and trying to fall down. This block keeps moving and trying to fall down.
There we go, some good signs, okay. And
This sign keeps trying to fall down.
You're doing great. Here you go. So we don't go towards our congregants. Here you go. All right.
And the way that we're blessing the kids nowadays is we're singing the face of God to them. So let's sing that with Cerise guiding us with the song The Face of God. Remember, it's got some hand motions to it.
You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God.
One more time as the kids exit out.
You are the face of God.
Follow Francie out to your class, okay?
I hold you in my heart. You are my family. You are the face of God.
Let's sing it one more time to all of you. Okay, let's look around at one another as a way of greeting one another.
You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God.
around, you're getting to know each other in your deep hearts, and it's such a great feeling, isn't it, to see one another here and to be in community together in this way. And I just wonder, how many of you are here for the very first time? Anybody? Oh, great. Welcome. Just shout out, where are you from? Are you from Ashland?
No, we're from Urbana, Illinois.
Urbana, Illinois? Welcome. Glad you found us. And over here?
Salem, Oregon.
Salem, Oregon. That's great. And somebody over here?
Rhode Island and Phoenix.
Phoenix? This Phoenix close by or down below? The lower 40, okay. And somebody else back there?
Ashland.
From Ashland, good. Oh, well, from far and near, we welcome you, and we're so glad that you're here for the ice cream social, because it's a fun time to be able to get to know people, and we look forward to talking with you more afterwards. Now we enter into our sacred container together, and I just want to start by placing us in what I'm feeling is the theme of this week that's been going on, at least for me, and see if you can relate to it. But I've been experiencing over the last couple weeks the sense of the convergence of two mighty streams, if you will, or like when you're out in the ocean and the tide is coming in this way and this way at the same time, that feeling of two things converging. On the one hand, the convergence of letting go, of tremendous letting goes is happening. It feels like another round of sort of a big letting go. I have had to let go of Elma over these last few weeks, and that was hard to let go of our dear friend and such a spiritual light in our midst. So I don't know about your lives, but letting go's going on. Also, I was privileged to be part of the Hiroshima Nagasaki memorial work this week and spoke at the closing ceremony last night. And there's a sense of letting go of the old ways of humanity, of war, of all the old ways that have been going on for maybe 6,000 years at least, but they're being let go of, shed rapidly because we must. So that's the letting go. And then on the other hand, the other tide coming in is a tide of great fulfillment of dreams, of a coming of visions that we've held for generations that are coming true all over the earth. Peoples are waking up, and millions of people are holding the vision of peace on earth. So there's much happening in our times, and I was sent an astrology perk up to look at about what's been happening with this beautiful full moon. Have you seen the beautiful full moon? And it said there are oppositions going on, just like I was feeling, requiring a balancing and integration of the energies involved. I won't go into all the astrological details, but any of you who want to look at this later can. But they say that at this time, because of all these different astrological things, that we're being called upon to focus, to become our own taskmasters, or our own authorities, so to speak, and to prioritize, hold healthy boundaries, so that we can set and achieve our goals that we've held for a long time. It's a time of greater dedication and discipline and integrity. Isn't that great? So that's the energy of this week that I invite you to enter into as we create this sacred time together. So on that note, I'd like you to stand with me, and we're going to invite Cerise to come and sing a lively song that speaks to the theme of this week. I think you're going to like it.
Good morning. This song is all about getting on board, that great convergence that Norma is talking about. And looking around at the world, seeing all that's happening, and focusing on the awakening, focusing on the millions that are waking up and holding the vision and riding the train. Now I've been happy lately, thinking about the good things to come, and I believe it could be something good has begun. I've been smiling lately, thinking about the world as one, and I believe it could be someday it's gonna come. 'Cause out on the edge of darkness, there rides a peace train. Peace train, make this country come take us home again. I've been smiling lately, thinking about the good things to come, and I believe it could be something good has begun. A peace train sounding louder, everybody jump up on the peace train. Ooh, ah, yeah, ooh, ah, come on the peace train. Peace train, holy roller, everyone jump up on the peace train. Ooh, ah, yeah, ooh, ah, come on the peace train. Get your bags together, come take your good friends too, 'cause it's getting nearer, soon it will be for you. Come and join the living, it's not so far from you, and it's getting nearer, soon it will all be true. Peace train sounding louder, glide on the peace train. Ooh, ah, yeah, ooh, ah, come on the peace train. Peace train sounding louder, everybody on the peace train. Ooh, ah, yeah, ooh, ah, come on the peace train. Yeah! Now I've been crying lately, thinking about the world as it is. Why must we go on hating? Why can't we live in bliss? 'Cause out on the edge of darkness, there rides a peace train. Peace train, take this country, come take us home again. Peace train sounding louder, everyone jump up on the peace train. Ooh, ah, yeah, ooh, ah, come on the peace train. Ooh, ah, yeah, ooh, ah, come on the peace train. Ooh, ah, yeah, ooh, ah, come on the peace train.
Remain standing, if you will, and let's get on the peace train. And in this ancient tradition that's on this North American continent, let's welcome the four directions. So we'll start by turning to the east, which is the direction of this beautiful Kabbalah light here. And raise your hands up if you feel like it. And we welcome you, powers of the east, where the eagle flies, where we can see things from a higher perspective, where new beginnings arise where we think there can't be one. We welcome you, powers of the east. Come in and fill us now like the breath of air that comes from the east. Thank you. Be present with us now. Aho. Now let's turn toward the south. And in the south, you imagine that you're looking toward the heat, like where the people from Phoenix came from. We've had a lot of heat here lately, too. The summer heat is in the south, and also all the creatures that crawl close to the earth, like the snake and the mouse. They see things up close from the perspective of a child's mind. Simplicity and yet fire, the fire of passion coming forth. So we welcome all of these energies when we salute you, guardians of the gates of the south. bring these energies of passion and fire into our lives right now in the humbleness of the child's mind. Aho. Welcome now. Now we turn to the west. And in the west, we imagine that we're looking out at the great ocean. And in those depths are creatures like the whales and the dolphins. Great wisdom resides in the west. We also think of the black bear and introspection. And we ask that those powers of going into our emotions and trusting our intuition and finding deep insights that are even beyond our singular mind, that are part of the whole. We need those kind of insights. We ask that those powers come to us now as we welcome the guardians of the gates of the West. Come and be with us now. Aho. Yes, and then we turn to the north. And in the north, it's easy here to picture the big mountains with the white caps on them. And we can feel our own bodies spreading out as if our feet are like the bottom of the mountain and our heads are the top of the mountain. And we just feel the stability of this earth form. And we give praise to you, our Mother Earth, for all the cycles of time that you've been through that are millions and billions of years, the grand cycles of time. And we are so privileged to be here in these bodies right now for this short time to honor you, Mother Earth, and to do all that we can to bring through healing and to bring through right action and to bring through peace on planet Earth. So we welcome you, great powers of the North. Aho. And then, of course, we turn right here to our center, the center that is our own hearts, our own selves, and ourselves in community. So I welcome each one of you here. Thank you so much for creating this sacred space together. We need one another. Without one another, we can't do the great work that's at hand. So I honor you and thank you for being spiritual people, people of growth, people of vision that are standing here in community with one another right now. Welcome all the hearts of the people. Turn to one another and just give a handshake and say thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Remain standing, if you will, for our next song.
We are We are a blessing to the world. We are a blessing to the world.
Place your hands on your heart and just thank yourself for the blessing that you are and for the blessing that you receive from others. Many, many blessings are flowing in our lives. We're very blessed beings. Blessed to be on this planet Earth, blessed to be in this wonderful community. Many blessings. And in this moment, I'd also like you to tune in to the visions that you have. The tide is flowing in about the fulfillment of your visions. In this moment, just name one of your visions to yourself that you are here to do, a destiny path that you know you are here to fulfill. Just name one of those to yourself. No matter how young or how old you are, you're still alive. So you're here to be walking out your incarnational destiny path. Honor that right now. Honor that to yourself, that you are here for a great purpose. You are a blessing to this world. You are a blessing. I am so thankful for you. I look around at you and know you're thankful for one another. Thank you. You may be seated. Speaking of having visions, people of all ages and times have had visions for planet Earth. Visions of betterment, visions of a future that is, thank you, future that's different, future that's improved. I used to have a professor at college, and I think you've heard me say this before, but he was an old professor of English, and he was known for when a student asked him, "How are you today?" he'd say, "Improving." So there's always time, there's always room to be improving. It's never too late. And here in this moment on planet Earth, there's time, there's room for improving. I wanted to read to you a section from Black Elk Speaks. There are so many sections I could choose from here because he was a man of vision. And I've chosen the very end of the book to read you his last time of speaking forth a vision to the author of the book, the man who helped him to bring forth his visions in writing. And this is what Black Elk said at the end. Hey-ya, hey, hey-ya, hey, hey-ya, hey, hey-ya, hey. Grandfather, Great Spirit, once more behold me on earth and lean to hear my feeble voice. You lived first, and you are older than all need, older than all prayer. All beings belong to you, the two-leggeds, the four-leggeds, the wings of the air, and all green things that live. You have set the powers of the four quarters to cross each other. The good road and the road of difficulties you have made to cross. And where they cross, that place is holy. Day in and day out forever, you are the life of things. Therefore, I'm sending my voice, Great Spirit, my grandfather, forgetting nothing you have made, the stars of the universe and the grasses of the earth. I remember that you said to me when I was still young and could hope that in difficulty I should send a voice 4 times, once for each quarter of the earth, and you would hear me. So today I send a voice for people in despair. You have given me the sacred pipe, and through this I should make my offering. You see it now. From the west you have given me the cup of living water and the sacred bow, the power to make live and the power to destroy. You have given me a sacred wind and a holy herb from where the white giant lives, the cleansing power and the healing, the daybreak star and the pipe you have given from the east. And from the south, the nation's sacred hoop and the tree that was to bloom. To the center of the world you have taken me and showed the goodness and the beauty and the strangeness of the greening earth, the only mother. And there the Spirit shapes things as they should be. You have shown this to me, and I have seen. At the center of the sacred hoop you have said that I should make a tree to bloom. But with tears running, O Great Spirit, my grandfather, with tears running, I must say now that the tree has not bloomed. I'm a pitiful old man, you see me here, and I have fallen away and have done nothing. Here at the center of the world where you took me when I was young and taught me, here old I stand, and the tree is withered, grandfather, my grandfather. Maybe this last time on this earth, I will recall this vision that you sent me. It may be that some little root of the sacred tree still lives somewhere. Who will nourish it then, that it may leaf and bloom and fill with singing birds? And someone in this old book scribbled in the margin at the end of this, if we can destroy a dream, we can create one. That is our task. And now I've asked Donna to come up and read just a short section from the prophet Habakkuk in the Hebrew Scriptures about revelations. Can I have the mic, please?
Turn it on.
Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 2. Then the Elohim replied, write down the revelation and make it plain on tablets, so that a herald may run with it. For the revelation awaits an appointed time. It speaks of the end and will not prove false. Though it linger, wait for it. It will certainly come and will not delay. Still feeling that dream that Norma asks you to find in your heart? You know that I have a dream. We all have a dream. I've been thinking, yes I have. Some call it wishful thinking. I don't. About the way this life could be. So much sadness, it seems like. Not enough gladness, it seems to me. Lack of vision is a danger
If you can see it, then you'll start to feel it. And the next thing you know, you'll believe, and that's when dreams begin to come true. You believe it? You can see it. So I want you to sing with me, and we're gonna sing about a dream. Dream, everybody dream. Turn our dreams into reality. Oh, dream, everybody dream. Turn our dreams into reality. Can you sing with me? I dream, everybody dream. Turn our dreams into reality. Oh, dream, everybody dream. Turn our dreams into reality. Good, hold on to that. 'Cause I say dream of peace and dream of justice, dream of healing, dream of loving, dream. Everybody dream. Turn our dreams into reality. Oh, dream. Everybody dream. Turn our dreams into reality. I said dream of caring and of hunger, dream of sharing with one another, dream. Everybody dream. Turn our dreams into reality. Oh, dream. Everybody dream. Turn our dreams into reality. I said dream of spirit, dream of glory, dream of the ancient old story, dream. Everybody dream. Turn our dreams into reality. Oh, dream. Everybody dream. Turn our dreams into reality. I said dream of peace and dream of justice, dream of healing, dream of loving, dream. Everybody dream. Turn our dreams into reality. Oh, dream. Everybody dream. Turn our dreams into reality.
Maybe some of you recognize that, but it's Tuck and Patty song. I love Tuck and Patty, and Cerise loved them too, and we lived in the Bay Area in the 90s and got to hear them sing in concert. You know who they were? Some of you? Yeah, they were a black woman and a white guy who was a fabulous guitarist, and anyway, real visionaries.
Love warriors.
Love warriors. And a lot of our visions have to do with the earth and how much we love the earth. And I don't know about you, but I'm passionate in my love for the earth and love for the beings of the earth. Like, you know how you can go on a walk out in nature and a little lizard will run along and you go, oh, I love that little lizard. Never knew you could love a lizard, right? Or you see a bird up in the sky and your heart just jumps to see the beauty of that bird, you know. And sometimes a flower, a beautiful flower will just speak to you. So the love of the earth. We are so much a part of the earth. And speaking of this passion and vision for the healing of the earth, we couldn't go without a Mary Oliver poem, right? So I've asked Karen Douglas to come and read a Mary Oliver poem for us.
just happens to be about my favorite flower. This morning, the green fists of the peonies are getting ready to break my heart. As the sun rises, as the sun strokes them with his old buttery fingers and they open, pools of lace, white and pink. And all day, the black ants climb over them, boring their deep, mysterious holes into the curls, craving the sweet sap, taking it away to their dark underground cities. And all day, under the shifty wind, as in a dance to a great wedding, the flowers bend their bright bodies and tip their fragrance to the air and rise, their red stems holding all that dampness and recklessness gladly and lightly. And there it is again. Beauty, the brave, the exemplary, blazing open. Do you love this world? Do you cherish your humble and silky life? Do you adore the green grass, its terror underneath? Do you also hurry, half-dressed and barefoot, into the garden, and softly, and exclaiming of their dearness, fill your arms with the white and pink flowers, with their honeyed heaviness, their lush trembling, their eagerness to be wild and perfect for a moment, before they are nothing, forever.
This morning, as it says in the poem, this week, as I was getting ready to speak at the Hiroshima Nagasaki Memorial, I tuned into the internet and saw that it was Global Meditation Day on Friday, that Deepak Chopra and Oprah and others proclaimed, and tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people all over the world were gathering this Friday to proclaim world peace. And India Ari was there, and she sang this beautiful song, One. And I got right off the internet and I emailed Cerise and I said, can you sing India Ari's song, One, for us on Sunday? So here it is.
And I said, I never heard it before. But who am I to turn down an invitation to sing a song from such a priestess? Billions live their lives. They Muhammad, Krishna, Buddha, the way. Still some believe it's right to say in the name of Jesus when you pray. We are a humankind of 7 billion. So many different races and religions, and it all comes down to one. Some say God's a him. Still many believe that he is a her. Does God live in our hearts? Or is she somewhere out there in the universe? We are a humankind of 7 billion. So many different races and religions, but it all comes down to one. Is there no God at all? Or a pantheon of gods up in the sky?
Great job. Beautiful. In my youth, I did many things to pursue my visions. You probably did too. To try to come to understanding about my life purpose and why I was here. And Vipassana, Buddhist meditation, was one of those things that I did. It's funny because I would go off for these 10-day sitting retreats as often as I could, and some people who didn't understand would say, "Oh, you're going on vacation again?" I would just laugh to myself and think if they only knew what you go through at a Vipassana meditation. It is not a vacation. The sitting on the cushion, the bringing of discipline and focus and concentration to one's mind, and the continual opening of the heart, even in the midst of whatever arises of pain or anguish, to not close, but continue in the faith of opening and of not choosing to cling to fear. So whether we're trying to learn here in our meetings that we have together in our spiritual practice or whatever other practices you do, what we're trying to learn is how to be present with the whole of life and to not cut out certain parts and just have the nice part. There was a great teacher who sat for a long time in his youth, and when he finally was coming out of it, many people wanted to know what he had to say about the meaning of life, the meaning of his life, and why we are here on planet Earth. And so many gathered to hear the first words that he would speak after years of silence. And Shakyamuni spoke, and he said, "The first noble truth is, there is suffering here." That was a big deal. Everyone had gathered around, wondering what he'd say, and probably a lot of people thought he would say something about the heavenly realms, or the visions of the vast Buddha realms, or some esoteric, exotic experience he'd had. But the first thing he spoke was, there is suffering here. So he was talking about how vulnerable it is, how vulnerable we all are, and our earth is. But then he jumped right in with a second noble truth. He said, the cause of suffering is not the fact that everything is passing away and is impermanent. No, it's our grasping. And he might have taken his fist and held on to it like this. He said, we're trying to hold on to everything. And a modern example would be like when you go skiing and the rope is slipping through your hands and you are trying to hang on to it, but you lose your grip and it just slips through and you get a rope burn. That's that sense of the burn of grasping. Or aversion. Still the fist, but it's like, I don't want this. Like, I don't want to feel the way I'm feeling, so I'm just going to go get a little caffeine and then I'll be happy. Or if I just had one of those beanbag cushions to sit on like that other meditator does, then I could be more comfortable and happy. Or if this service at Unity just didn't last quite so long, I could be happy. It's going way too long. It's the cause of my suffering. The third noble truth is, even here in this realm where there is so much disappointment and loss, then it's this letting go and accepting that brings peace. This is the third noble truth. It's really an opening of the body and the heart and the mind to life as it is. It's easier said than done. The third noble truth, opening. I'm sure that many of you have had moments like we heard in that poem about the peonies, when you're just opened in a certain moment when you didn't expect it, to the beauty of all that's around you. Maybe the moment before been engaged in some argument or struggle, and then you see something beautiful and you open. And in moments like that, it's like the whole caged little separate self in us releases, and you can feel the breath open up and a whole different reality floods in. There's the gentleness, the deer that you might see out your window. You know, there's a sense of peace that comes over you. And in these moments we realize that it is our greater nature, our true nature, to feel this lasting peace. This need to be accepting is the Buddha asking us to become deeply peaceful. But some have mistaken that as if he was asking us to become apathetic. Like, should we just be apathetic to the nuclear waste and accept it as it is? No, no, no. This is a misunderstanding of Buddhism. Buddha is not suggesting that we do this half-dead resignation thing, this indifference, and call it acceptance. The Buddha lived and modeled and taught that if there was a time when we could take action and alleviate suffering, we must do that. And he did it in so many ways. There's so many examples of great spiritual beings who were not apathetic. And today I want to raise up the story of one you might not know about. His name was Maha Ghosananda. He was called the Gandhi of the monks, one of the few monks who survived the genocide in Cambodia. Villages were burned and all their temples were burned, and the temples were so precious and valuable to them. Maha Ghosananda himself lost more than 30 family members, and yet he was determined not to live in bitterness. He knew that if he contracted and got identified with the hate, he would feel more separate. And the more separate that he felt, the more suffering he would feel. And so he deepened his practice, and he made the choice to open rather than to close to what was happening in his country, to his people, his family, and his fellow monks. So he chose to walk and not ride across the country. When they saw the monk in his orange robes walking into their village, it was a big deal. So many monks had been destroyed that they were shocked to see one was still alive. So they would ring the big gong, and hundreds or even thousands would come together in the refugee camps. And he'd begin to speak to them, and he would just say the same thing over and over with tears running down his cheeks. He would say, "Hatred will never end by hatred, but love alone will end it. Hatred will never end by hatred, but love alone will end it." The reason that we know about this story is because Jack Kornfield, you know, the founder of Spirit Rock, he was there as a young man with Maha Ghosananda in the refugee camps. And he reported watching the tears start to stream down the faces of the refugees. They could feel it returning, the peace, something they thought had been destroyed. They were reconnecting with the Dharma that was big enough and wide enough to guide them through this terrible tragedy. One of the things you have lost so much, when you have lost things, let me re-say this, when you have lost so many things like that, you know so much how precious everything is. So they were allowing the love to grow again. And this Maha Ghosananda helped them to start rebuilding their lives, rebuilding their temples and their homes. He said, if we can't be good to someone who has hurt us, how good is our spiritual practice? That is a steep challenge of spiritual practice. And of course, we truly hope that no one in this room, that nobody that we know will ever have to apply the practice in such extreme conditions. And on the other hand, maybe some of you have been in some pretty extreme conditions and have survived. And we know that the first noble truth is true. Every human has to deal with our share of the inevitable stuff of life. So we practice now. Every chance we get, we practice. You've heard me say, I remember standing in Temple Emek Shalom years ago and saying, spiritual practice is like going to the gym and lifting weights. You know, you just got to start somewhere. And first you pick up a 5-pound weight and you lift and lift and lift that until you can do that. Then you pick up a 10-pound, then a 15-pound. It's just this practice of mindfulness that we have to do. Like, for example, if we start to feel a restlessness in our day come over us, the mindfulness practice just says, oh, restlessness. It doesn't judge it. It doesn't grasp it or try to push it away. It just recognizes it and doesn't call it bad either. It's just the practice of seeing and then simultaneously opening instead of closing with fear. So whenever you see something that bothers you or that even might cause a strong emotion in you like hatred, just say, oh, aversion. Oh, hatred. And then open. Open to it. Oh, pain. This pain in my body again. Breathe and open. There's a story of a young adult who opened to aversion in one of the groups that I led. He was trying to do the spiritual practice that we were doing, and he was so frustrated and irritated because he said, every time I come here, I get this weird headache, and I don't have it when I'm out there in the rest of my life. But as soon as I try to concentrate on all this meditation and stuff that you're trying to make me focus on, I get this headache, and it won't go away. So when that happens, when somebody brings up a physical symptom like that, I've been trained in somatic psychology, and in this Buddhist meditation, so I said, how about if you just close your eyes and we explore what's here right now? So with the whole group silently present, he felt into this sense of pressure and heat and irritation. And I asked him if he could be present to it for just a moment. Then several moments passed of being present together to his headache, and then it moved to being tight in his stomach. And I was asking him, what does he feel like? And then he just curled into a ball, and then suddenly he popped out and he said, I did something really stupid when I was 16 and I don't want to talk about it. And I've been trying not to think about it for 10 years. The damage is already done, there's nothing I can do about it, so don't ask me to talk about it. And I reminded him that in our practice there, that it's not with any expectation that he has to talk about it, we just have to feel it. And so I asked him, are you opening to just feeling it as it is? And with his fist in his stomach and curled over, he was able to sit with it for several more moments. And then again, he blurted out a piece of content that I wasn't asking for, but he just came out with it, and he said, I'm really afraid of facing how ashamed I am. And I said, how about just being with this shame and this fear of feeling it? And he described that this shaky feeling was coming over his whole body, and he was really being sort of taken over by fear. And we all just sat quietly and meditated with him. And of course, we were bringing this quality of kindness and of compassion to what he was feeling, because it is scary to go into these feelings that have been blocked for so long. And then he blurted out something else that he didn't want to talk about. I was drunk and I wanted to impress my friends, and the other person forgave me, but I can't forgive myself. And he just started sobbing for about a minute, big racking sobs, and he was like 6'2", a big guy. And so we were all just sitting there with him completely quiet, and he was just sobbing. And then finally he relaxed, and we were all just sitting there with him, and he said, I feel peace in my whole body. My headache's gone, and I'm feeling open. Everything's going to be okay. And tears started coming down our eyes too, and we could feel it too. We could feel the peace come into the room, that everything was going to be okay. And when he was finally able, you see, to meet this resistance with awareness and kindness, this ball of energy, this thing that he'd been denying, that had been winding itself up inside of him, was able to release. Now, I'm not telling you this story because you're supposed to have an experience like that, in particular, this psycho-spiritual energy unwind, but it really shows how mindfulness is just opening to the moment, to what's happening right now, that includes opening to all the areas that we might have been closed to, opening to the things we may have had aversion about. So in the frame of these four noble truths, he was suffering when he came in at first, and then second noble truth, he had aversion, he didn't want to talk about this. And the third truth, he was able to open to the resistance. And the fourth, he was able to feel peace. That's how the Four Noble Truths work in a really practical way in our lives. It's kind of a weird joke that we didn't get taught this in first grade. Why didn't somebody tell us, if we resist it, it persists. If we open, it recedes. If we resist it, it persists. If we open, it recedes. There's a short poem by Jennifer Wellwood, who's a Buddhist meditator, and it says, willing to escape loneliness, I discover connection everywhere. Opening to my loss, I gain the embrace of the universe. Each condition I flee from pursues me, Each condition I welcome, it becomes transformed into its radiant jewel-like essence. Isn't that beautiful? So in this spiritual training, where we're training to open to life, it's kind of the opposite of our organism's typical conditioning in our culture. We're so often taught to close down in various ways rather than to trust the unfolding. So we also have to practice wise intention. If we're going to really carry this through up close in our relationships, we have to make a vow. And I remember hearing the Bodhisattva vow when I was really young and feeling as soon as I heard it like, whoa, whoa, I want to make that vow. And it's a big one. And the vow is that I vow to use whatever may arise, even if the sun should rise in the west. I will use that for my awakening and to benefit all sentient beings. That's the Bodhisattva vow. We can vow to use this in every part of our lives. Vow to use it in your marriage relationship or in your lover relationship. Vow to use it with your children or with your elderly parents. Vow to use everything that arises for awakening and then for the benefit of all sentient beings. It's not so easy. You know, when I was younger and I took on this Bodhisattva vow, I was so genuine and so clueless as to what it would take. And I knew that I had to do this, but to take it on as a life path, it's a big challenge, isn't it? Because I know many of you here heard that Bodhisattva vow in one way or another and took it on. So luckily now I can love that self that was clueless and realize that the Bodhisattva vow, that it's not that we can really ever fully attain it in this life, but we have to keep moving toward it. I think that's what Black Elk was saying, you know. He felt at the end of his life like he didn't fully attain it, but he hoped that the next generations that would come would take it up and keep moving toward it. So over and over, because of the Bodhisattva vow and the commitment that I made, I kept somehow on with various spurts of courage and bouts of suffering. I kept finding my way to open to all this stuff that I had to open to, that I didn't imagine. And over I found my way to love that which was larger than the pain and the loss. And all along the way, I've had to open to beautiful ecstatic joys, too, that I never could have imagined. So the ego identity has to give way sometimes, too, to, oh, whoa, this could happen to me? I'm in a phase like that right now, when I've had to let go of a lot for a whole long period of time. And some of you that know me know I've had to let go of many things, many houses, many dreams. It's been a big shedding over and over and over till I thought I couldn't shed anymore. And now I'm breathing deeply and opening to a time of tremendous abundance. My dreams are coming true. When I was a youth, I had a vision like Black Elk had. He dreamt of 4 circles and then a 5th circle in the middle. I had never read Black Elk until many years later, but I had a very similar vision. It was of 4 circles, 4 hoops, I guess sacred hoops, and then 1 in the center. So maybe you can picture that with me right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 in the center. The one in the center I knew was that someday I would find a community of people like yourselves, you know, who I would feel at home with and who would accept me and I would accept you, and we would really be working our stuff and we would do our shadow work together and we wouldn't abandon one another. We would be a community of spiritual warriors together. That was in the center. And then in the lower corner over here, there was, I knew that there had to be a healing center that would be a residential center where people who were really damaged and really in trauma could come for a deeper level of healing. And that we would be providing that for them. And then over here, I knew that there would be people that would not need that deeper level, but that would want to be trained in the practices of doing one's shadow work and healing on that deep level. So a training program that would have a center to it. And then up here in this corner, I knew that we had to give back, that we had to tithe, that we had to make our offerings to the world, to those that we were in gratitude to. And so in my vision, it was giving back to Native people, to indigenous people, and giving the gift of money or whatever they needed of our time and efforts to help them save their lands, to give back to the Native peoples in the top corner. And then this corner over here was the greater outreach to the world, that we would be going out and speaking and singing and broadcasting through videos and films and going out in sacred tours and things like that, reaching out to the world. So that was the vision that I had, those 4 hoops and the one in the center many years ago. And when I read Black Elk then and realized that he had this vision of the 4 hoops, and that it says in the Black Elk book that a shaman is given 4 dreams in their life. And so I had the 4 hoops, but then I also had these 4 dreams that showed me in great detail, one after the other. They were spaced about 7 years apart. They showed me what would be happening in great detail. These dreams are all coming true right now. Every detail that I saw is coming into manifestation. I'm blown away. My heart is blown open to see that this could happen. I feel very humbled because I think, why me, why us, why not Black Elk, Why not others who have gone before? But we are the ones. We keep hearing this. We are the ones we've been waiting for. And something tremendous is happening on planet Earth, like I was talking about at the beginning of the convergence of the big letting goes, but the convergence of the big flowing in. So in one of those dreams, I saw myself standing with my arms outstretched and my feet spread wide, and tremendous blessing was flowing through. I saw it like huge schools of fish, or like many, many beings flowing in from the universe coming to help us, and being a channel of this tremendous blessing flowing through to the earth. And I think you can relate to this in your lives too, that we are, like that song says, we are the blessing. We are the ones that tremendous blessing is flowing through. And we, lots of times maybe living in the United States, we might be feeling guilty about how much blessing we have, but there's something going on that's all in divine order, and we are being called, just as who we are, to be the blessing that we're called to be to the earth. So it's not to feel shame, any type of shame or blame that comes upon us or that we put on anybody else out there, it's time to cleanse that out of our system. I've pictured shame and blame like being the engine that drove the great Titanic to its doom. Shame and blame, Shame and blame drives the engine in humanity toward its tragic end. And we need to let go of that shame and blame, because we're not the Titanic. We're not going to that end. We're going to a different place. We have been privileged to have the Dalai Lama living amongst us. And he said, years ago, as we go into this great turning in these times, that we need to meditate more. So he said maybe we need to meditate for half of our day, because we're being called to do so much in the world right now. And Deepak Chopra the other morning on the great global meditation, he was asked, how much should we meditate? And he said, well, I've been now getting up every morning at 4 a.m. and meditating for 2 hours, because I know that I have to be so focused in all that's happening. And I felt to myself, oh, I wake up early anyway. I think I need to start doing that too, so you can be with your own soul and see what you're being asked to do in terms of how much to meditate. And he said, if you can't meditate once a day, if you're one of those people that can't do that, then you better meditate twice a day. Do it more if you can't do it that much. So, the Dalai Lama, Deepak Chopra, we have some great people in our midst, and another one of those great ones is Joanna Macy. And she wrote in her book, World as Lover, World as Self, that as we open, we are being called to open, to expand beyond our little me identities, even beyond our little particular community identities, and recognize ourselves as the planet. Hear me what I'm saying? We've got to recognize our bodies, our little community as the planet. So she says, with this extension, this greening of the self, we can let ourselves feel these resources that come to us by surprise. There is a deep wisdom, a bondedness with creation. And when we expand our notions of what we think we are, we will have a wonderful time, and we will survive. So it comes in this expansion. It comes in this opening of ourselves. Opening, you've been hearing me say that throughout this whole talk, that we've got to practice opening. This is the training and the truth that we've been taught through the Dharma, we've been taught through the Christ consciousness. In so many ways, we've been taught this truth of opening to whatever comes, and it's our turn on planet Earth now to take up this practice, this Bodhisattva vow. The Dalai Lama, in closing, I will say that he renews his Bodhisattva vow every day. Every day he says that he wants to be a living, enlightened Bodhisattva on the planet. I think he may have made it. And we are so blessed that he's the real thing and that he's remained in this nonviolent, loving, even joyous consciousness through all of the losses to his person and his family and his country. And he goes all over the planet, right, helping to heal people. And he says this vow every day. He prays, and this could be our prayer. I love this. May I be a guard for those who need protection. May I be a boat, a raft, a bridge for those who wish to cross the flood. May I be a lamp as the darkness gathers, a healing medicine for all who are sick. May I be a vase of miracles for all the endless bounty of beings that flows through me, until all beings are free from sorrow and all are awakened. What is your vision? How can we help one another to bring it all the way through? We've got to help one another. We've got to have allies to do it. When Black Elk was young and he had those visions, he knew that he had to tell them to his community and then ask for their help. We cannot complete our tasks alone. We've got to open, like that young man in my illustration had to open to his truth. We've got to open to one another, share our pain and share our callings. And in this, we will be the ones that will bring our visions through. They've been brewing up for generations. So let us do the work of carrying it as far as we possibly can. Amen. And so on that note, this Thursday, I'm having a meeting here at 4 p.m. to talk to you about my visions in more detail. The visions that are coming forth and coming into manifestation, and I'd love for you to come if you want to and be a part of that. 4 o'clock this Thursday here at the Hop Rock. And now, during this next song, we're going to take the offering. So I thank you for your offerings and just praise you and thank you for what you give to unity, to help us to thrive and to bring forth our message into the world. Donna and Marta, thank you for beginning. Go ahead and begin. And this is, when Cerise is with us, I love it because she brings us these modern songs that she has such a talent to sing. And this one you may recognize too. What I love about these songs is that I think a lot of them are sparking something from our youth. Like the first one, Peace Train, and Cat Stevens, and then Tuck and Patty, and this is Stevie Wonder, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, it reminds us of that aliveness that was there that we're called to bring forth. when Nisha's generation holds services like this, it's going to be fun to see what songs they use. Maybe it'll be NDRE, I don't know. So anyway, here we go as we enjoy this song.
If it's magic, then why can't it be everlasting? Like the sun that always shines, like the poet's endless rhyme, like the galaxies in time. If it's pleasing, then why can't it be never leaving? Like the day that never fails, like on seashores there are shells, like the time that always tells. It holds the key to every heart throughout the universe. It fills you up without a bite and quenches every thirst. So, if it's special, then with it, why aren't we as careful as making sure we dress in style, posing pictures with a smile, keeping danger from a child? Well, it holds the key to every heart throughout the universe. It fills you up without a bite and quenches every thirst. So, if it's magic, why can't we make it everlasting? Like the lifetime of the sun, it will leave no heart undone, for there's enough for everyone.
Send our chi energy to the offering. We say, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God. It's great reciprocity. And now I ask you to stand up and stretch, and just stand in your place for just a moment as you stand up and feel your body again. Realize that you are the precious embodiment of a divine plan, of a vision that can only come forth through you. It has come forth in many ways already that you've blessed the earth, and there's more ways yet to come. So just feel the preciousness of your one human self right now. and then look around this room and just feel the preciousness of every person here who has a vision and a calling, and then realize that we have a collective one too, that we're here together in community. We're bringing through some things collectively that we can't do alone. You're very, very blessed. And I'd love for you now to move gently into our big circle and hold hands with one another. And it's always a fun time when we get to see more everyone who's here and look in each other's faces and sing our closing song together.
Imagine. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No heaven lost above us on the sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. No, no, no. A brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us. I know you'll join us, and the world will live as one. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one.
Let's give out a big yoo-hoo! And when we have our ice cream social now, I look forward to hearing some of the conversations and being in on them about what came up for you today, what your dreams are, and sharing deeply with one another around our social time, and having a lot of fun together, and renewing our youthfulness, and being with the kids and playing with them. And Francie has one announcement for us about the logistics of the ice cream social.
And I have a quick announcement too, if I can, Norma.
Okay,
Go ahead, Francie.
go ahead, Francie.
I forgot to let you know about the recycling the spoons. I know we all want to be good to our earth, so I'll take them home and wash them. If you'll put them in this tub, which is right by the trash can, by the women's room, that would be awesome. And also there's a list of people who are take down and set up people who Zoe has generously paid for your Sunday today. So thank you, Zoe. And please make sure that you are to take advantage of that. And it's beautiful weather outside, so don't be afraid to venture out back. All right? It's not
Great, thanks, Francie. And I have just one quick announcement, which is that my little vocal trio, Wild Honey, we're singing this Thursday at Pascal Winery. It's a beautiful setting. We sing music from all over the world,
Great music.
bringing the unity of all peoples together through song. I have some flyers, I'll put them in the back. Wild Honey, come and get it Thursday night.
Thank you, everybody.